Welcome to the Bearded Finisher Podcast, your one-stop show for all things finishing and coatings. Your host, Zach, and a variety of industry experts will guide you through the art of perfecting your finishing and business game. From seasoned pros to fresh faces, get ready.
What is going on, everybody? We are back this week, and we have got the awesome Josh Ocasio. Welcome back to the show, Josh.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Glad to have you back on. Real quick, before we jump into it, I kind of did a little video. You probably saw it online and got some questions from some guests that have some ideas. But for those that didn't maybe catch the first episode that you were on, just do a quick recap about you and the company and what you guys do.
So my name is Josh Ocasio. I have spent $16 million on paid ads over the last 5 years. And we've been able to generate over close to $70 million online in that time frame.
Now, when you say $70 million, that's like in revenue for your clients.
That's the revenue, yes.
Okay.
70 million in revenue. It's not profit. Million in revenue. From implementing the strategies that convert online to local businesses. Taking that framework that online businesses have nowadays and converting it to local is what is allowing me to have the success that I'm having currently with the business owners that I'm working with. And that's what I do. So what I do, to answer your question, is I run ads online for businesses and I help them scale by using videos to gain authority online in order to have prospects trust you more as a business owner rather than seeing you online and not having any clue about who you are. We help you as a business owner establish authority online. That's what we do.
So like when you say authority, just to kind of help the guys out there, that kind of reads part and part with, I preach a lot for, selling a product or service is one thing, but the brand behind it is what people want. And that's kind of what the authority does, is establishing that brand. Would that be correct assumption?
Right. This is the thing that most people still today are not catching on this movement. And I've been able to help a few business owners in the last few months and locally now, because it's just been getting even bigger with how this process has been working and adapting how you can really build a brand like online with people getting to know who you are, because no longer is images and going about posting organically the way anymore. You can't just do it that way, the boring way anymore.
I would definitely agree with that. So like, I have another business that I do, and what I used to create that, doing the same thing that I did to create the content for the Bearded Finisher when I first started it years ago. It's definitely a lot slower go. It definitely does not move the needle like it used to. Just the consistent original content. And it's slowed. The needles even moved a lot slower than breaking that 5K barrier for me on the Bearded Finisher. It's the algorithms have made it a lot tougher. It's not an easy feat like it used to be. I think the days of like blowing up overnight where these guys wake up and they've got 10,000 followers because some reel went viral. Like you don't hear that happening anymore. Would you agree?
I would agree if you aren't testing. So a way to, are you talking in terms of just like the business and this whole industry in general, or just like a social media as a whole?
Just social media as a whole. I think it's gotten a lot harder to to build a brand on social media. And I don't know if it's the algorithms because there's more people doing it, so they've tightened it up. But like when I first started the Bearded Finisher, and when I was in the corporate world, I had the Bearded Finisher, and it was a lot easier to scale with the original content and just being me in front of the camera because people want to see you, and that's part of what builds the brand. But I never, to this day, I've never ran any ads on that page. And I feel like when I got into the corporate world, that got harder to do, even with a person in front of that corporate world managing the page and on it all the time. It was still really hard without running ads. You run ads, and I got there. I got the company where they wanted to be on social media wise by not anywhere near to the limit of what you're doing, but trying to run some strategic ads. And since I left there, not in the corporate world anymore, I have another business that's not related into the paint world, still kind of a service-based business, but using the same thing that I did for the Bearded Finisher 5 years ago and for the corporate 3-4 years ago, it's definitely not having the same payoff. Like it's a lot slower building the audience with followers and what do you call it? When people reactions, people commenting and getting interactions with people, it's a lot harder now than it was 4 or 5 years ago.
100%. I mean, a lot of things are moving now to clipping, to people streaming their entire day and clipping things from their entire day, or doing first person things now with content. So that's where things have been evolving to now, especially with social media. That's like the way that a lot of people have been growing their business, or what they've been doing also is like doing those funny like transitions where they'll start off like with another clip and then they'll transition into them rolling out of it or something like that, and then they'll pitch their business.
Just saw one of those when I was sitting here. I did my paperwork, and it was like some girl with 2 black eyes saying she's doing her makeup, and then it just went to some guy selling, I don't even know what he was selling, but it's like, clearly she doesn't listen. Hey, you guys need this? And I was just like,
yeah.
But you're starting to see a lot of those weird, interesting videos out there.
But that's what's, blowing up today. And that's what's eye-catching, I guess, to people nowadays.
I mean, that short attention. Yeah. I mean, no, it has to be quick.
Yeah. And it's about how you want to go about it as a content creator. Like, do you want to only clip? Do you want to show first person point of views of what your day looks like? Do you want to show first person point of views of different activities that you do throughout the day, or maybe explaining a certain aspect of your day and what you're doing with a first person lens or with a camera right in front of you? But a lot of people tend to not want to move the camera around whenever they're filming, which is why sometimes if what they're demonstrating on the video is not productive or engaging, then it won't pick up. So
I gotcha.
I think that also like just adapting to like what people are doing and figuring out how it can fit into your business and how it can fit into your personal life is a huge game changer if that allows you to be more efficient when it comes to filming and getting more content for your business, which is why I like getting like simple gadgets and things like that for recording, because it just allows you to just go about your day more easily and not really think about like picking up the camera, and you just have it like right there with you.
I mean, I will say, because I bought so my other business is I rent RVs and campers and utility trailers. So I have like 20 trailers of various kinds in my fleet, and I just rent them all out. And I bought one of those. I feel completely like an idiot wearing it, but it's like one of those chest holsters for your phone.
Yeah.
I'm used to having them in hunting, and you have it right here, so you have a pistol, but it's like straps around you, and there's one goes around your neck, and your phone's right there. So it's like right there. And I
Yeah, it
saw
looks
another
like a
guy
little
wear
body
one.
armor.
Yeah. And I mean, you feel completely ridiculous. But if I'm like delivering a trailer or hooking up a trailer, unhooking something, or setting it up at a campground, or doing an interaction with a client on a delivery, like those videos are doing better than just the content of the units themselves.
Right.
With the fast audio, if you're unhooking a trailer and they're like sped up, like I don't
I don't know how
understand
people
why.
just like watching that stuff.
It's weird. I mean, like they don't want audio in the background. I've noticed they just want the
Yeah.
weird video of you unhooking a trailer and the clinking weird sounds. I'm like I don't understand it, but yeah, and you feel like a complete idiot when you look like you're wearing a bulletproof vest that's got your phone attached to it when you're talking to somebody. You're trying to hook up a trailer.
Yeah. I definitely got to send you something after this, so that will be a good tool for you. But basically, what the tool is, I forget what it's called, is that it allows you to take the most engaging content from people within your industry and pull their most viral videos and analyze them in order for you to pull ideas for them for your business. I forget what it's called,
Whoa.
but I use it and it's been working very, very well for my clients. So I
Oh, that's
definitely
pretty
I got to
awesome.
put you onto that.
Yeah, you got to put me onto that one. Yeah, with this other business, and we're looking at buying a couple more businesses. I mean, that's kind of my goal now. Is I'm just buying businesses to have income coming in, so we don't have to work for people. But so,
For sure.
what have you? Man, I'm trying to remember it. I know it's not been quite a year, but it was towards the end of last year, wasn't it, when we recorded?
I believe so. Yeah, towards the end of
Yeah.
last year.
So, what have you been up to since we jumped on the first time, as far as like customer wise and content wise? What have you been up to?
I've honestly been figuring out and dialing in the system as to what I am going to be offering to businesses and like trying to convey it in a way that makes sense to these business owners. That's honestly what I've been working on for a while now, and honestly it just cracked. So the way that I want to explain it is because I feel like now that I've finally simplified it, it will make a lot more sense. So what I've
Okay.
been doing over the last year is I've been figuring what I've been doing online for my online clients. I wasn't thinking to apply that to my local clients. And one day I just woke up.
Well, like, so before you go there, kind of explain. So previously, you treat your local clients different than like because I know you've done some work with
My online clients.
out of Chicago. Yeah. Cabinet guys or service companies that aren't where you're at, because you're in Florida, that are in other areas. But so
Okay, I see what you're saying.
so you were doing different things for them, or what? Like help me understand that part.
So when I say online, I mean like businesses that are selling products.
Okay.
So when I say online, just think of a business that sells a product that sells shampoo. Just think about shampoo whenever I say online, okay?
Okay. So
Whenever I
more of
say
like selling things versus a
Yeah.
service.
Exactly. So everything that I'm going to be talking about going forward is only towards like local based businesses and what I've applied for local based businesses from online businesses that I worked with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And your local business to you is something more of a guy that's doing a service there locally in your market.
Exactly.
Okay.
So over the last year, what I have figured out is that if you take the strategies that they're doing online and you implement that into your local service strategy, your business and your authority online in your local area will probably like 20x.
Really?
Just by doing this one thing. I promise you it's is actually insane. So what I figured out is that if you interview the homeowner after you finish the project, right? And you ask them how they like the project, that click-through rate is insanely through the roof.
So just test them. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've always been a good, I mean, it's, pardon my, so I say it's my show. I don't give a shit. It's so fucking hard to get people to do testimonials.
It is. But
what you're saying is the click-through rate on them is insane.
yeah, the click-through rate on them is insane. And it's also about how you edit the video as well. So
Okay.
that's a little bit more technical, but if you can get, I'll talk about the main point, which is like if you can get the testimonial from the homeowner in their kitchen and use that as an ad, that literally crushes as an ad. But that's not the only thing that I figured out.
That's the freebie for you guys.
Yeah, that's the freebie. The next thing that I figured out is that if you have a video on the contact page telling your prospect what they're signing up for when they fill out the information for their contact us form on the website, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You sent me that presentation, and it's videos of the manager or the owner saying, "Hey, thanks for sharing your information. Here's what's going to happen."
Exactly. So if you put a video onto your contact us page onto the website of you telling the prospect what they're supposed to be expecting from you after they fill out their information, that also increases your conversion rate by 5 to 10%.
Shit. That is, I mean, I saw those videos, but I never really clicked that those would change the conversion. I mean, that those would increase your
So they
follow
see
through.
the video of the ad, they go to the website, see that video, get educated on your business, right? And be educated on why they're filling out their information. And they're being educated on what's happening next. Now you see how warm that lead is just by filling out their information now.
Yeah.
And then what happens next after that? This is how you really nurture them. So on the thank you page, you put this is where you just spoil them with testimonials on a thank you page video. You say, "Hey, my name is Zach. I'm the owner of the Bearded Finisher podcast, and this is what you're going to be expecting next from my business." And then that, like, I'm just using your thing as an example, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
You use that framework on your thank you page, and then you say, "Here's some of the previous work that we have done also, in case you forgot what our work has looked like on our contact us page." And you show the prospect a bunch more work, a bunch more testimonials on that video, and now they're way more nurtured than just filling out their information and seeing a message that says, "Thank you for your inquiry, we'll get back to you." Like, who's gonna win that battle?
Yeah. I mean, now that you say that, and I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, I preach, unique experience all the time. It's got to be unique. It's got to be, it's got to make you stand out. And that's the customer experience. And that's next level customer experience. I don't know. Oh man, that's genius. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens next after that is the whole nurture sequence. So we have a few different automations that we set up, but the most important one is the one that gets sent out immediately right after they finish sending their information, which is, "Thank you so much for filling your information. This is X from the company. We just got your information, and just to let you know, we are going to be reviewing it, and we're going to reach back out to you here in the next 24 hours. You're giving them a timestamp of how fast you're going to get back to them, what they should be expecting from you as a business owner and as a company. And they're just going through the cycle now.
No. So are you doing that in video as well?
Wait, what do you mean that in video?
So when you say you're following up with them after the warm lead, say, hey, we're going to get back to you within 24 hours. We're going to review that. Is that in a video or is that just in an email?
This is all in text. These are all
in
text message
Okay.
automations. Yep.
Okay.
Text message automations definitely work the best. Emails work really good too. But if you really want to get those people warm and inbound really fast, then text message is the way to go.
Yeah, everyone we all respond to text faster than we do emails.
Yeah. So I always focus on text first with my clients when they first come in. And then after we do the text, then we go into emails. And then we start scaling them up with emails as well, because that's the other layer to like scaling them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole nurture sequence cycle of how you're supposed to actually be doing it as a local base business owner. And no one's doing this. No one is doing this. It blows my mind how many websites I come across. And I'm just like, you guys aren't telling the prospects like what you guys do before they fill out their information.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all just, I mean, even when I had my company, I think you just take it for granted. Like, if they're filling out information, they know what you do, but not always.
Yeah.
Now, when you think back,
you would be so impressed of how warm the lead would be after they watch that video.
The testimonial video,
just like the initial video on the page. So the initial video on the first page when they're filling out the information on the contact us form should be, hey, my name is Zach, and here's some of the past things that we have done. Boom,
okay.
boom, 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 boom. So this is a little bit more about our company, and this is what we do, and this is how we've helped our clients. And then you talk a little bit about that information, and then you say, so down below what you're going to see is a few questions that are going to ask you this, and this. And what it does for our company to help us is to understand you better as a customer so that we can give you the best experience possible. And then you get them to understand what they're doing, what you do, and they're not just like a random lead just filling out their information and forgetting what you do. Now you have someone that's engaged, actually going through a funnel.
Yeah, almost like a journey. Yeah.
Yeah. And people aren't doing this.
No, I mean,
It's crazy.
I'm just trying to think of, I'm just sitting here going through websites that I've been to lately, because I'm always like for my other side, my other business, I talk to most of the people around here that have that, and I need to do that. I mean, I feel like I do more than all of them, but I don't do that. I mean, I do videos and do video walkthroughs of every single one of whether it's a car hauler trailer, a cargo trailer, a camper, like I do walkthroughs, and they're on YouTube. Here's how you hook it up. Here's how here's where this is. Here's where all the dishes are, or, here's where the straps are in this deal. And I send them all these videos on YouTube, but I've never really done a video just explaining the business. It's all chopped up. Like, damn. I mean, basically, what you're saying though, and I know this is a lot about painting and everything, but I think just in general, business wise, if you're a company, whether you're selling a service of any kind, construction, doesn't matter. I mean, this is the same steps would work, correct?
Correct.
I mean, I think you could do the same thing with if you're selling widgets or actual items or anything like that too. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily limited to, would you tweak it any for if you're selling, we'll call them widgets or online stuff?
If you're selling online stuff, yes, there's a different customer journey that they would go on because it's online. But if you're local, it's just the authority that you have in a local area is so crazy. But if you're doing it online, yes, you do have to have a bigger cycle of videos and nurturing and messages sent to these prospects and emails, because they are seeing you only online. So your best bet of getting them to close, if you're only doing things online or buying something online, is to keep reminding them about it and to keep giving them free value and free information until they end up being interested in what you have to offer.
Okay. That makes sense. So versus, you've got a guy out there. Let's just kind of walk through the scenario. A small painting company that might be running ads, spending, let's say he's throwing $200 a month or $100 a month. Let's just say that's realistically. I could see most painters out there throwing $100 on ads to boost their post or whatever. What would you do different that for the smallest amount of impact, smallest amount of effort for the largest impact? What would be your recommendation there?
I mean, $100 a month.
Yeah. I mean, let's say, because you've got some guys out there. I mean, if you think about it though, I know painting companies out there where it's a one guy and a helper. And it's just realistically one guy and a helper. If he's got a helper, a lot of times it's just Jimbo's painting and he's by himself. That guy's probably bringing in 50 to 75,000 a year, realistically, because all he's got is his hours. That's all you're selling. You're the only way you make money is if you're working. So a lot of those guys aren't making a ton of money, but coming up, you get through Thanksgiving, and a lot of these guys up until like the week before Thanksgiving is starting now in August till Thanksgiving. It's usually gangbusters. Everyone wants everything done before family's coming. In this service-based world, we'll call it the construction service-based world. That's just industry wide. Every contractor, every painter, every tile guy is drowning starting August, go until probably the week before Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, 9 times out of 10, they might have a small rush to Christmas, very small one. And that shit usually just drops after that. And it's usually slow till, most guys will try to build it up, but a lot of smaller guys aren't. A lot of guys that are trying to get to that next level, they're not. And they're fighting for every little thing they can come January, February, and usually part of March until it starts to warm up and they can go back outside and be getting more of those projects. And they usually don't have a ton of money. I'm just speaking from what I know. They just don't have a ton of money to throw into ads. It 100% speaks for itself. You've got to keep, I tell guys all this all the time. You've got, when I'm mentoring guys and they're in my program, my mastermind program, you have to pick 1 to 2 days a week. I say 2 days a week. If you're by yourself and it's just you, 2 days a week, maybe go down to 1 day a week, but you don't paint. All you do is estimates all day long. You stack those sons of guns up as high as you can, and that's all you do is estimates, and you send them out that same day because that's what people want. A lot of guys don't do that. When they're busy, great, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll reach back, and then they call back when they're slow, and that person's already found someone. So that's a whole struggle in itself. But trying to get the best bang for your buck on the social media spend, because I know guys that are probably spending $50 to $100 a month, which
those guys,
it's not going to make a huge benefit.
To you is good luck, because
well, okay, so let's word it a different way. Like from your perspective, in your opinion, what is the minimum that somebody, small guy making under $100K a year, could be spending that would give him the best outcome? A single guy is not going to be able to spend $1,000 a month probably, because he's not going to be able to do all that work. He's only got 40 hours a week that he can paint, 60 if he wants to work his ass off.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
What is, you're the professional, you do the social media marketing, you've got it down, the system. Because it's going to have to be tiered. If you've got 10 guys, you can do a lot more work. Let's pour some money into marketing. let's air market into ad spend.
So I'm
A guy
speaking
that's
to the
one or
guy that's
two.
just by himself, right?
Yeah. Like what would be a good amount for them to spend? Like if you're going to spend $50 a month, don't waste $50 a month. That's a waste. You need to be spending X from someone that's seen the results.
Yeah. So what I would tell that guy is, look, if you're looking to spend $50 to $100 a month, your odds of being successful with that amount of budget is very low. Okay. I'm going to be very honest with you. Your odds of being successful is very low. The reason why I'm saying that is because you aren't reaching enough people with that much budget. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you can't actually find the right audience of people with that little budget as well. It's not going to happen. Like the type of budget that you would need as a single person, I would recommend, would be anywhere from $500 to $800 a month. And honestly, that by itself should be able to get you at least 1 to 2 like confirmed jobs that
Okay. That was going to be the follow up. Like if you're spending $500 to $800 a month, what you're saying is if you're spending $500 to $800 a month, let's go 2 jobs. You know, you throw a little bit on every one of those jobs, add $400 onto each one of those jobs, you know, up your price a little bit, right? So you've got to cover that cost, but don't go spend it at the bar, put it back in the fund to run more ads.
Right. And that's also what ends up happening to business owners that aren't thinking ahead. I've worked with a lot of business owners that I've helped them to be successful and then start making money. The money disappears because they aren't reinvesting it back into the company once they start making that money. So that also does happen a lot with a lot of people I've seen.
Yeah, this service-based industry can be a feast or famine. You just have to stay consistent. I mean, my rule of thumb was always, you know, I want to be 4 to 6 weeks out year round. If I'm 4 to 6 weeks out, I'm happy. My guys are working year round. No one's sitting at home on the winter time because you're slow. And if you just keep that funnel full, however you're going to keep your funnel full, whether it's repeats or ads, you can continue to refill the funnel with money that's coming in because you're not struggling 1 month to make payroll. Because if someone dumps out, you know, that's what I would always tell guys all the time. You've got 6 weeks of work on the books. Let's call it 4 weeks if we want to go on the low end. You know, average job is 3 to 7 days, depending on what kind of painting you're doing. Let's call it 5 days. So if you've got a month of work, then you should have at least 4 to 5 jobs. The chances of 4 to 5 customers dumping you at once is odd.
Yeah.
If they would all dump you at once, you might lose one.
Yeah.
But then you just go to the next one, but you're still feeding the funnel to get that next one in there. So you've always got, you know, anywhere from, depending on how many crews you have, if you're by yourself, it's just you, then you've always got 4 customers waiting.
Exactly. And exactly. So and if you spend $800, you're telling me that those 2 jobs won't pay back for that? Like, it's going to pay back for that and more. You're going to make your money back. And
if you don't, you need to raise your prices.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I actually had a client start about 14 days ago, to be exact, right now. And they, in the first 10 days of them running ads, they were nervous by day 7 because on day 7 they were getting leads, but no one was like converting, right? And then on day 10, they get a huge mansion in like this like rich community in some community that's right by them, and they land like a job for like $17,000 from spending, it was like $1,100 in ad spend. Isn't that insane?
I just want to be Zuckerberg. No wonder he's got a couple yachts. You got all these places spending $1,000 a month on ad spend. Hot damn, they're making money.
Yeah, 1,000. They spent $1,000 and they closed. Well, now they spent about $2,200 in total, but they've closed 3 jobs
in 14 days.
in 14 days. They want to scale aggressively though. Like they're trying to spend like $4,000 to $6,000 a month. That's their budget.
Jesus, Pete, that is crazy. That's some aggressive scaling. You got to be careful with that scaling. I mean, more power to you guys. But that kind of scale can get scary if you're in a service-based world. Because yeah, that can backfire quick. What is your portfolio like? Just kind of let the guys out there know the portfolio of your service-based businesses and a couple more of examples of what your guys are doing.
Sure. I mean, this can be applied to any type of local service-based business, whether you're doing roofing, plumbing, electrician, painting, kitchen remodeling. I mean,
you got tile, you got landscape, yeah, everything.
You can shovel something, anything. You can use this system. This system works for literally anything because what you're doing is you're basically nurturing them. That's all. That's what I'm teaching business owners to do, and I have scripts that are proven as to frameworks that they can use so that they can explain their business in a way that allows their prospect to actually understand what they do. So it just like this is for any local service-based business. It's literally plug and play, and it works because all you're doing, if you have something that you're offering as a service and you just need to educate your prospect on what you're doing in order to close them as a deal, I'm your guy. That's who I can help.
That's what you're doing. That's what I tell people all the time when you're going on estimates is you're just educating them on your systems, your processes, your products. And if you can do that ahead of time, like you can, like your system does, that makes the closing a lot easier when you just show up to pick a color or whatever it is. It's a soft close instead of a hard close. Let me close. Like
exactly. Like they already know what to expect from you. They already know what's happening.
That's pretty good. Well, I want to take a quick break. I want to refresh drinks. And when we come back, I want to jump into like, if you were to take on my old company, which was a painting company, everyone knows, but I just want to do a quick run through of, what the onboarding is with you and what it looks like in the first 30, 60, 90 and expectations and cost of depending on what you're wanting to do. Because I know there's got to be different levels of growth that you're wanting, slow growth, medium, or fast. But let's take a quick break, refresh drinks, hit the head, and come back and let's run through that process.
All right. Sounds good.
Do you want your brand in front of the people who actually move product? Painters, finishers, and manufacturers? The Bearded Finisher podcast has pulled in over 75,000 downloads and reaches across the entire finishing supply chain, from job site to manufacturing. From single episode sponsorships to social media promotion, we offer flexible options that get your brand noticed. Real reach, real results. Visit thebeardedfinisher.com and let's get your brand front and center. Are you a residential painter buried in admin, scheduling chaos, or constant material delays? Meet mypaintbuckets.com, the first dedicated project management platform built by painters for painters. It delivers turnkey workflows to simplify your day, from project sharing and material ordering to scheduling and EPO capture, so you can focus on scaling your crew and maintaining the reputation you've worked so hard to build. And if you're a supplier, painters are evolving faster, smarter, and more efficient than ever. The suppliers who thrive over the next 10 years will be the ones who build real trust. That's why we created free tools to help you keep up and stay relevant. Head to mypaintbuckets.com and see why the next generation of painters isn't looking back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are now, like we just said, talking to Josh. If you guys are just coming in, I don't know why you would be because it's a pre-recorded show. But anyways, I want to jump into, we've been talking all day about, or all afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it, about, application and systems that work and what doesn't work. Let's walk through the onboarding 30, 60, 90, like for a new painting company, a residential repainting company that comes to you and says, Josh, give me some fucking customers. I'm dying here.
Okay, cool. So the first thing that I would want to discuss with that business owner is, okay, like, what have you tried? So Zach, what have you tried? You be the business owner.
All right, I'll be the business owner. I mean, I do some videos online. I post pictures of stuff that I paint. I don't like being in front of the camera. It's usually all the stuff that I get.
Well, I guess the first thing that I would say to that person would be, do you like to make money?
Yeah.
What's
Who
your answer
doesn't?
for
Yeah.
that, Zach? Do you like to make money?
Yes.
Okay, so if your answer is yes, I'm going to give you the strategy. So if you are a business owner that doesn't like to be on video, then you have to either cut that umbilical cord and stop being scared, or you have someone from your team record the videos for you and represent your brand if you think that they can represent your brand. That's the two ways that you can go about this as a business owner.
My PSA is this: if this fat, overweight, bald guy can be in front of the camera, then you can do it and you're fine. So quit your bitching.
Zach, you're a good looking guy. Don't get that twisted. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. We would basically talk about, the things that you don't like, what's holding you back, why is it holding you back, and how moving past that will benefit your business and why it's actually effective for your business, right? And then they're going to say, okay, well, I don't have any ideas. I don't know what to record. Okay, perfect. We have the ideas already for you. We already know what you have to do. We already know what you have to say. You just got to stand in front of a camera and read it out loud. And you don't even have to say it perfectly because we cut it up and make it look perfect anyways for you. So if you're afraid of stuttering on camera and being like, oh my gosh, like I keep messing up, like you don't have to worry about any of those things because we take care of all that for you. We can literally make you look perfect. Like none of that happened. So we have that happen. And then on top of that, what we do is we want to be educated about your business. So our goal is to basically go through a course with you about everything and anything that you can tell me about your business and how it can help me to educate your prospects about nurturing them through your process. That's the first thing that we would talk about, right?
Okay.
So I'll be basically interviewing them like how you're interviewing me, and I'll be collecting notes. And as I'm collecting notes, I would create that into a script after for them. That's the first thing that I would do.
So you're just like diving in and getting their history as a business owner, and essentially kind of what you and I did the first time. You're getting the origin story.
Right.
And finding out where they came from, how they got there, how long they've been doing it. And you're going to flip that into a script that they're going to turn around and read.
Exactly. I flip that into a script that they could turn around and read that educates their prospect about them and what they have done. The two most important things about them and what they have done. That's all the prospect cares about and what they're there for, right? So as long as you touch on those two main points, and then at the end of the video, you have a call to action, which tells them what to do. That's what we script out for your business. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing that we do is we create the ad scripts, and we have 15 different viral hooks that work right off the bat that you can literally plug and play. And we have the bodies of the ad scripts that we can give to you as well that we customize for your business. So we give that all to you. All you have to do, again, is just read them out loud. And that way we have 15 different variations of ads to work with and test with so that we can see which ads perform in the best audiences.
So you're going to have the business owner read, here's 15 of them. I want every damn one of them read.
Yep, because the likelihood of success is much bigger when you can speak to an audience 15 different ways.
Makes sense. Yeah. Never done it. I mean, I'm like, yes, it makes sense. Why haven't I done this?
Yeah. So
you're giving me a shit ton of homework.
So that's what we do.
Okay. So you got somebody who's read the ads. They've given you 15 ads. They've given you the story, the who and the what. And then what's the step? Where do we go from there?
So after we get the ad scripts for you, now we're going to talk about the thank you page. We're going to talk about the thank you page and reinforcing what the prospect is going to be expecting next from your company. That is the next thing that we're going to be talking about on the thank you page, and also implementing testimonials and social proof of what you've done for other people and put that onto your thank you page to remind the prospect of what you've done. That's the next thing that we're going to do. And we outline a script for your thank you page as well in order for you to have something that reinforces that for your prospect.
Okay.
So that's the next step. Does that make sense so far? Am I holding you?
It makes sense. So we're following. So up to this point, we're basically, I'll call it an S load of content creation right now.
Yeah, this is just a shit ton of content right now.
Shit ton of content. So
yeah.
what would me as a business owner of Davis Painting, you're going to tell me that we're going to create this content and we're doing all this in 30 days, 60 days, 2 weeks. How long is it going to take us to get all this content created? Assuming a lot of it's on me because the business owner has to get off their butt and go create the videos. But assuming they do that, are we talking 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What are you seeing that's happening on your end? How fast are you seeing all that get done?
Right. So if I'm in person, right? If we're doing this in person, because I do have some local clients, if I'm doing this in person, we're doing all this in one day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're going after.
We're just banging it all out in one day. Like I just need to get everything. We have everything, and if we don't have the testimonial videos, so this is the kicker. So if we don't have the testimonial videos from their past clients, we would have to schedule out some days. We would basically what we would do is in that day we would come to you with my local clients, and I would film everything and have everything prepped for that day. So all you have to do is just read everything that I give you in that one day. And typically it could take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours because, they're going to mess up. They're going to say things that don't make sense. So you just got to go through it again. So you have to keep doing it, right?
Yeah. I remember doing one of those videos for my corporate job. And I don't know, it was hot in that warehouse and there was a lot of takes because I was fumbling all over myself.
Exactly.
Like I will give a lot of credit to people that on the news and stuff. I mean, trying to read, what do you call them? A teleprompter while you're looking into a camera, even with the hookups and stuff. That shit is hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. And okay, so side note, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I don't want to forget this because I think this is an important one and I think you'll agree. If you don't, tell me shut the fuck up. But
okay.
We'll
do.
there is a big people think, oh, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. All you need is a phone. Phones today will give you as good or better video than any $10,000 camcorder or any of that crap. Just turn your phone in landscape or portrait mode. Maybe do it in each one, but the software will do half that anyways for you now too. But all you need is a phone and maybe a cheap mic. You don't have to have all this high-end recording gear or hire a production company for that. I mean, Zach, would you agree with that?
Can I share something with you? So for my local clients, that's literally all I use is my phone and a mic. That's all I use. A phone and a mic.
Just went to Vegas and went to the woodworking show in Vegas, and I have my backpack, and I have a little case for it, and I have a couple lapel mics, and I mean, I probably spent a couple $100, not counting the iPad, but it's all essentially shit that connects to an iPad. The recording device is an iPad. You don't need all the fancy equipment anymore.
Right. No, you don't. You don't. And honestly, it's super easy now with all the plug and play things that they have on Amazon for you to get mics. So there's no reason for someone not to be able to buy one of those and just clip it in and record the content. But back to your original question of how long it would take if someone weren't by me, is that it would typically take them about a week.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
No, okay. Well, let's jump back in. All right, so we got all the content. We did the thank yous. What's the next step?
So after we get the content, the next step would be me launching your campaigns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be also speaking to you as a business owner and asking you, hey, what cities are the cities that you get the most amount of closed deals from and leads from? And then once I gather that information from them, then okay, I targeted these areas. Cool. Now, what other new areas haven't you been in that you want to be in? What other
That's a good
markets
one.
in your area do you want to hit? That's something else that we talk about as well. Because yes, you may be getting people from these areas, but there's also a bigger market than that. So like what else do you want to hit in your area, right?
Yeah.
And that's also something that I don't think that a lot of people actually think about when it comes to running paid ads, is that you can hit new markets and get new customers, right? So that would be the next step. And then after that, we launch the ads. So now that the ads are working, we have all the tracking working on the website for the ads. Now we should start seeing clicks coming through, and then probably by day 4 or 5, we should start seeing a little bit of trickle of leads coming in. And then once Facebook starts to learn and get all that data, then it really starts to pump out those leads and come out consistently.
And what would you call consistent? Like in your opinion, you do it every day. What is what would a guy who's spending, let's say, $500 to $800 a month, what would be a consistent weekly lead generation he should be expecting?
At least like 6 to 7 new leads
a week. That's awesome.
I mean, and if you can close one of them, you know what I'm saying? That's like solid.
Yeah, if you can close one of those, and then now does that, when you get into that setup, are you creating the, because you've got the thank you videos and you've got the nurturing included into that nurturing, and when you start running these ads, does that running into your a sales funnel of sorts where the customer's going to provide some information, and then you're going to get maybe some, I want to do something in a week leads, and you might be getting something, hey, I want to do something in 3-month leads, based on how the funnel's set up, and you're gonna help them and set all that up for them as well.
Right. So the people that say like, hey, I don't want this done right now and I want this done later, we have automations that are set up for that as well. So you can put those leads into the nurture sequence that we set up, which is a 90-day nurture sequence, which basically keeps nurturing the lead, keeps showing them images of your work, keeps asking them if they're interested over the 90-day period after they say they're not interested right now. After the 90 days are gone, then we kick them into a 120-day automation, and it trickles out little messages over a 120-day cycle.
Okay, I'm doing a little math here. Sorry. From Oklahoma, we can't do math that good in our head. All right, okay. Think I have another point. So essentially what you're doing, correct me if I'm wrong again, is, I'm thinking how to word this. You're adding an automated salesperson that's going to take the hot leads and get them to a closer ASAP, which is going to be the business owner, or if they have a salesman. And then your SOP or your process, your AI, whatever the hell you want to call it, is following up 90 days, 120 days, keeping the brand of, we'll call Davis Painting, or the brand of the Bearded Finisher in their face consistently. So they're seeing it just like you would be seeing a Mickey D's commercial or a Sonic commercial or whatever other product. They're just going to continually see it in their email. They're going to continually see it in their text messages with pictures of stuff going on. And like my poor man math here was saying, if you do that $650 a month, we split the difference from 5 to 8. That's less than $8,000 a year. So you just hired a salesman for less than $8,000 a year. I'm trying to put this into, like, you know, painters out there, you know, if you're running a business, this is what you're looking at. Well, what's it going to cost me? And granted, that's if you're spending that much money a month. There's going to be some upfront costs to build the whole system.
Correct.
But let's call it 10 grand. You know, what if you could hire a salesman for 10 grand, would you do it? Never called in sick. I mean, and was always working 24/7 for you. Cause I think that's you know, we keep chasing some crazy rabbits, but I think one of the biggest issues in this service-based world is, you know, and I tell guys this all the time, this is a constant conversation I'm having, is you could have all the skill in the world, and guys get mad at me for this, and I get hate comments. I don't care, but you can be the most skilled person in the world. I get it. Your rate, all that. We're selling hours in the service-based world. Like, I don't care if you're a plumber. I don't care if you're a painter. I don't care if you're a tile setter. I don't care if you lay carpet. You are selling hours. You have X amount of hours a day, a week, a year to sell. So you want to get the most money you can for those hours. But the hardest part is, you, as a small business, is trying to get the top dollar for those hours, because that takes effort in itself. And in my brain, I'm just thinking about it as a business owner. It's always about what's it going to cost me and what's my return going to be. If I could have had someone, oh shit, it's almost been 10 years since I got out of that business. That just made me feel really old. If I could have had someone for 10 grand a year, generating leads for me, doing the nurture, AI taking over, reinitiating the customer every so often, this is a no-brainer. Like, doesn't matter the size of your business if it's 10 grand a year.
Yeah, you need.
That's going to pay for itself and keep you busy during those months where you only have one job. It's just me, just breaking it down simple for the guys out there. If you're spending $650 a month, might sound like a bunch, but if you do all that, let's say you're at 10 grand, that's not that much a year.
Yeah. With
a payout of endless opportunities. If you're getting 6 a week and you can close, 6 a week, my poor man math, people make fun of me all the time. I'm like, I went to school in Oklahoma. Shut up. 6 times 52. I mean, if you can consistently get 6 a week, that's 312. So let's call it 250 leads a year. I mean, if you've got 250 leads that are going to be lukewarm at worst.
Yeah,
lukewarm. Because they've went through the whole process. Worst case scenario, these things are going to be lukewarm. Best case scenario, they're going to be very warm to hot. You can close 50 of those at 20% conversion. And I'm low end in that conversion. Average job is, let's say, $7,500. It's $375,000 a year in revenue.
There you go.
And it costs you 10. So, I mean, it's like the investment is, it sounds like a lot. I think what I'm trying to get, and probably me as well, but what I'm trying to get across to the guys out there, is I don't want guys to hear $650, $500 to $800 a month and say, well, F that, I can't afford that.
Right.
Maybe you can't afford not to. If $650 a month can turn you out $375,000 a year, if you close 20% of them, and if you should be able to close 20% of them.
Yeah, because if you can't, then the leads aren't the issue.
We got a whole nother conversation happening.
Yeah.
I would agree. Okay. So let's look here. We walked through that. I'm looking at my little guideline here. You know, you sent me a little presentation that I'm sure if you guys want to see it, let me know. You can, Josh's info will be down there. My info, you can hit me up. I can get you to Josh. He can send you a little slide deck, walks you through, shows you how the videos are. But you kind of mentioned in that presentation about some of the guys that everyone sees online that are using this system. Kind of hit on that real quick so guys can understand the success rate of this system and how it could scale if you wanted it to.
So the videos that Zach is talking about on my pitch deck is basically all the proven ads that have been working for my clients. And on this pitch deck is literally, I put the top 6 ones on the pitch deck, and they all show you how the videos are outlined, how they're edited, what we do for a call to action, how we're getting attention, how we're holding attention, and what we're offering to them and taking them through on a customer journey on. So these are all the things that I'm showing on the pitch deck, and it's also showing on the presentation all the other videos as well that you can probably just copy and paste into, if you wanted to, into your business and literally listen to it if you guys are interested in it. But it's essentially a layout.
You also mentioned guys like, you know, the really popular guys that are on social media talking about like Hamosi, Cardone. You got some of those guys that are also using similar systems.
Oh, I see.
And these guys are bringing in tens to hundreds of millions using very similar systems to what you've created. I mean, they're in a different space sometimes, but the principles behind the systems that they're using are very similar to the ones that you have nurtured and gotten down to an art, correct?
Yes. So referring to those bigger people and then taking it down to the smaller people, right? So what Zach is talking about is like the same system that these online big people are using is basically what I'm trying to plug and play into your business. It's like same exact thing.
You've just done all the work and know how to plug and play it into the service-based world.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then what would you say, and we'll wrap it up. I don't want to keep you too much longer because shit, I think you're an hour behind me.
Yeah, it's about to be 9:00 here.
Yeah. Damn, I'm usually in bed by 9:00. I'll say 2 things. I know you talked about the guy in the 14 days, but let's say in the past year, I want to know what your favorite, I don't want to say favorite. Screw it. Your favorite success story that you've gotten from your favorite one that you've just been like, hey, I'm working with this guy and we have a ton of fun. We've blown him up. We've taken him to X or her, whoever it is, him or her, them, they, whatever it is, taking them to X amount of money from where they were and they're just killing it. And then let's do that one. And then I'll ask the next question.
Okay. I would have to be the most recent one that I spoke about earlier, and I'll go a little bit more in depth about them. So this is a little company out in New Jersey that I came across, and we ended up working together. And they were just like, "Gosh, we can't get leads. We've tried everything. The campaigns aren't working. We don't know what we're doing. We're spending all this money, and it's just not working. And we're really slow right now. And we don't know what to do." So I was like, okay, no problem. We went over everything. I showed them everything. They were like, okay, this makes perfect sense. Like, we need to do this. I was like, okay, perfect. Start working together. And then, you know, as they're really panicking throughout the time because they really need some new jobs because they're really going slow. And they're like, Josh, like, we're spending money. Like, it's day 4. Like, are you sure? Like, none of these leads are picking up. What are we supposed to do? I'm like, just let them nurture. Just be patient. Just be patient. And then on day 6, the other guy was like, hey, we got like a few people are answering, but no one's really coming through yet. And then on day, I think it was like 7 or 10. And then that first deal closed. And then 2 days later, they had 2 more deals closed. And it was just like an awesome, like, effect that just like happened in that short span of a cycle.
I mean, that's got to be on both sides. Them, they're like, yes, it's working, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
It's like
like,
it's
yes,
like confidence for you as well. Like, whoo.
yes, I can breathe.
And what you don't have to say the name of the business, but what's their industry?
So they do kitchenware finishing. They do kitchenware finishing. Yeah.
So I mean that's perfect. That's right in that alley. That's a good one. I like that. And then, in your experience from talking to different service-based companies, what is the biggest hesitation? Is it from businesses? Is it a lack of trust in you, a lack of knowledge, just general resistance in the investment? Like, what do you see the biggest hiccup is, and what would you say to the community out there that's listening that has that that may have the number one hiccup?
I would say it's generally just a lack of knowledge. I mean, yes, I am not going to be initially cheap to set everything up, but that doesn't really matter to most of the people that I spoke with, because they just don't, they're like, oh my gosh, like once I show them everything, like I've like basically talked to you about today and I've caught you up to date, like, oh my gosh, it's like that makes so much sense as to why you would do that and why we would do that for our prospects, right? Like it's just a knowledge part. Like people just aren't aware that they should be doing things this way and that this is the new wave of doing things today.
That's a good one. Yeah. Lack of knowledge. Same thing that it seems fitting that the number one objection is a lack of knowledge, and you telling them to share that knowledge that you're sharing with them is going to close more leads. I think that seems like pretty fitting.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire process, whether it's you to business or business to consumer, it's information. That's all people want. I mean, I think that sums up the whole conversation, is just sharing information.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll wrap it up with the final question. Everyone knows you'll be able to connect with Josh. I'll have his all of his social media stuff in here. I'll have him give me an email address so we can drop it down in the show notes. But so we've got contractors, painting or whatnot stuck in that cycle. What is your recommended first step? Like, what's step one to go down this road?
Okay. Step one is to go to Amazon and buy a mic. That's step one. Check. After you buy a mic, then what I want you to do is start thinking about how can you educate your prospect on your business before they come into contact with you. And then how do you want to reinforce that for your prospect after they fill out their information? Those are the top like 3 things that I could leave you with, because the ad part is the least important part if you don't have any of those things set up. So yeah, that's the most important thing that I would tell to any business owner, to be honest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's perfect, man. I think this was a great episode. I've been getting a ton of requests for people that want to get more into the business side of it. And I think in today's world, social media marketing, I mean, I know older marketing stuff is coming. Billboards are starting to come back. You can get TV commercials cheap as shit right now because no one uses them. But the biggest bang for your buck, I think, is still social media marketing. And I think a lot of guys know they need to get into, but they don't know didn't know what to do or how to do it. I think this was a great eye-opening tool.
Of course. 100%.
Dude, I appreciate you coming back on, joining me. I know we were talking offline, and I was like, let's just do it on air. So I think this was great. I appreciate it. And again, you guys make sure you're going to follow Josh, hit him up. Let's blow him up. Let's make him as busy as we can. And thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you.
No problem. Hey, you guys have a good one. Next Monday, look for a new episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps me out. And we'll see you guys next week.
And that's a wrap on this episode of the Bearded Finisher Podcast. We thank everyone for joining. Keep hustling, keep learning, and never settle for anything less than your best. Remember, the path to perfection is a journey, not a destination. Until next time.